Well, speaking of President Trump, he signed an executive order to extend the deadline for TikTok's Chinese parent ByteDance to divest the platform's U.S. operations until December 16th. So another extension. Also some details about U.S. operations, including Oracle, Silver Lake, and Andreessen Horowitz. Oracle would keep the TikTok cloud contract. This would be the group that would control the U.S. operations of TikTok. For more, I want to bring in Brad Stone. He's the editor of Bloomberg Business Week and the author of Amazon Unbound, Jeff Bezos, and the Invention of a Global Empire, among many other books. He joins us from our San Francisco bureau. Brad, the latest on TikTok, it's interesting because it's one that's sort of faded into the background a little bit until it comes up for deadline, and then also comes up as sort of like a tool for trade negotiations. I'm just curious what you think of this group, Oracle, Silver Lake, Andreessen Horowitz, and the idea that U.S. operations would be controlled by a group that you've come to know pretty well in Silicon Valley.
Right. Well, first of all, Tim, how long have we been talking about TikTok?
I can tell you, I can answer that question for you. It was during the first, longer than I've been at Bloomberg. It was during the first Trump administration that we were talking about this. I feel like
we'll be in the retirement home one day analyzing this. Look, I mean, first of all, they're talking about spinning off the U.S. operation into this consortium of Oracle and Andreessen Horowitz. They're talking about asking TikTok's 170 million U.S. users to download a new app. So that's a little bit of friction right there. I mean, frankly, this to me seems like it would be a win for Meta and YouTube. Yes. I mean, there's very little that says this new TikTok U.S. operation that licenses the technology from ByteDance, but then recreates the algorithm domestically. It just doesn't sound like an agile company that can adapt to the rapid changes we're seeing in social media and AI. And I just have to question, because we have been talking about it for so long, whether the spinoff will really happen. This has been promised and or threatened many times over the years.
And, Brad, I'm also seeing some reporting out, I think, from the Journal that said U.S. investors holding a roughly 80% stake and Chinese shareholders owning the rest, according to those in the know. So, and I think there's going to be a board and there's going to be one board member designated by the U.S. government. It just, as you say, it just sounds like kind of a strange entity.
And tiptoeing around the law, right? Because during the Biden administration, Congress passed a law that said that the TikTok algorithm would have to be created and controlled in the U.S. And yet, according to this report, they'll still be licensing some technology from ByteDance. So, of course, the devil will be in the details. And, you can also imagine that it's all subject to the next presidential pronouncement and a potential trade deal with China. And so we'll see. But look, I mean, this is terrain that, as we know, in Silicon Valley, everything changes every single day. And the idea of asking 170 million users to download a new app with a new algorithm and then to compete with the likes of YouTube and Instagram that really over the past few years have copied a lot of TikTok's functionality.